as we take a live look over Hartford and Mohegan Sun. Very gray out there, raindrops on the cameras as the rain continues to fall, and that is going to be the case for most of the day. Sam Sampieri here with all the details about this Weather Watch alert. What's going on, man?
Well, this is just sort of a short alert just for this morning because we had some very heavy rain overnight. We had a flood advisory in New Haven County, but now that has been expired sooner than the Weather Service actually wanted it to go till 8, but because we had a dry slot moving in. That's what happens when you get a big storm and the system's cutting together, that sometimes you get this heavy rain and then we get a lull in the action. And I just wanted to show you this temperature map to start, show you the wind direction here, how it's spiraling around. And that means that low pressure, oddly enough, is coming right through Connecticut in the next few hours. It's riding up off the Jersey coast right now, and it's going to cut right through Meriden and through the Hartford area. To the east of it, you have winds coming out of the east and southeast, and to the west, you got winds coming out of the northwest. This will be happening later this morning. So yeah, a weather watch alert through midday for all practical purposes. Heavy rain, thunderstorms, wet roads, 1 to 2 inches of additional rainfall. When I say that, that's from about an hour ago, because that's how changeable this weather situation is, and localized and aerial flooding possible, even if there aren't advisories out there. Be careful out there if you have to go out and drive in the heavy rain. You're going to run into those big puddles and poor drainage areas. And take a look at live Doppler showing you the very moderate to heavy rain from the Hartford area now going back towards New London County. We have fresh lightning strikes now moving up from the south, zooming in down into this region in eastern areas. You see pockets of very heavy downpours spotted across the area here within the moderate rain band. And so again, we put this into motion, and you can see the lightning strikes continue to move up from the south, and that will continue to be the case during the next couple of hours. Got a little lull, but it's starting to fill in because you still got more rain out to the west here. A slow moving front, and with that front you have an area of low pressure on it, and that low pressure is going to roll up across our region this morning. And once that moves by on the back side here, then we'll start to dry out. But first, this thing has to get up over us and move overhead. So let's take a look at how much rainfall. We had upwards of a ½ inch, but since last night we had over an inch, inch and a half, and upwards now of 2+ inches of rainfall, where you see the light blues over the darker shades. So meanwhile, we have visibilities down to 1 mile to 2 miles across the area with that heavy rain. You see temperatures are in the 50s. This kind of a situation, we might go up a couple of degrees if we can just dry things out. And right now, the modeling is in pretty good shape here. If you were to overlay this over the radar, it's probably off about 10 miles too far west. So, and you know, that makes a difference. We can end the rain another hour earlier, and we can start to bring in a little bit of sun as we head towards this afternoon and into this evening. Closer inspection of the simulation, you can see moderate to heavy rain going on, and by noontime we start to taper it off. And during the afternoon, we're just dealing with some leftover showers in eastern Connecticut, and it looks like we want to clear out before the sun goes down. We could have a leftover shower on the back edge of this system, and then it's going to turn colder as we head towards this week. So again, highs 55 to 60, and you can see that circulation here today. And then tonight, to partly cloudy to clear, lows in the 40s, some upper 30s in the colder towns. Tomorrow, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds. High temperatures averaging between 55 and 60. Can't rule out the chance for a scattered instability shower as we head towards tomorrow afternoon, and for that matter, a lot of this week. And an additional inch to inch and a half of rain now with the highest amounts. And again, this week's pattern is going to show cool air aloft and no big warmth. And again, we call it destructive sun, pop-up showers, but for the most part, it is going to be dry. And yes, it's going to be cooler than normal for the next 8 to 14 days, bringing us all the way to May 6th. Yes, you knew we had to flip the pattern sometime. Unfortunately, it's coming in May instead of the winter time for those of you who wanted snow. So we're going to be at cooler than normal conditions now as we head towards next week with some scattered showers. Or this week, Angelo, it's Sunday. Back to you.